An update on the Thruway.
Yeah, Matthew Latko, who is the Buffalo Division Director for the Thruway Authority, joins us now via Zoom with an update. I guess, Matthew, if you could just start off by giving us an update on the cleanup and any problems that you're facing right now.
You know, our cleanup is going very well. We actually have very good conditions on the roadway. And as you guys mentioned in the forecast, now it's moved north. So now it's hitting the 190 north of the city, all the way up through the island and into like the Niagara Falls area. We have a lot of forces we brought in from out of town. One of the obstacles we have right now is just to try to push the snow back. We do have a lane open that's traversable throughout our corridor right now, but right now we're trying to push snow back just due to the heavy amounts. At this point in time, we're working with our local partners too to see when it will be a good time for the Thruway to open. We have to make sure that as we enter traffic in the area that we have closed from 53 to 59, you know, that they would be able to safely get off the Thruway to their destination as well.
Yeah, that's a good point because we're looking at a live image of the 190-290 split, and that is just a mess right now. But Mr. Latko, talk about the lessons that were learned in November 2014 and how those were applied during this storm and how it helped.
Right now, we really got ahead of this one. You know, we took heed of the forecast. We brought in numerous operators, supervisors, mechanics, extra snow blowers. So we were prepared in terms of like we prepared for the worst, but even in preparing from the worst, you know, our biggest obstacles in this were we still had, even though there was a commercial ban and a travel ban, you know, one of our biggest obstacles was still getting to people who went off the road or people who blocked the road.
And again, joining us right now, Matthew Latko, the Buffalo Division Director for the Thruway Authority. Talk about, if you could, Mr. Latko, about the size and the time frame that we've been dealing with. Typically with lake effect snow, it is a smaller band that is concentrated in one area, not necessarily moving up and down Western New York. It seems like just when you guys can catch up and clean things, you know, you get hit all over again.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point. It's a constant battle. We have forces and it's sort of a chess game. We're moving forces from one location to another location, but then after it leaves the one location, the battle is the cleanup portion to make sure that we can remove the snow from the shoulders. So when it moves back in, we have a place to plow the snow. So even though the snow is left in the area, that doesn't mean like our work is done in that area. It means we still have quite a bit. And that's where the snow blowers are coming in, and they've been very beneficial to have.
You know, this is a heavy, dense snow, and that provides a challenge to push it out of the way and plow it for sure. But it also reduces a lot of the blowover, and that's a big problem on the Thruway because of the open land. Has that in a way helped you in your removal efforts?
You know, it'll help us after. It's a very good point because the blowing snow is what creates a lot of the issues. And right now, I'm sort of hoping that this next round that comes in is a heavier snow too, with the winds that are forecasted. Because even though we won't be getting the volume of snow, the blowing snow will make it look like we are getting that much.
Also, when you get to this amount of snow, again, this quickly, do your teams have to go in at any point and start shelving the snow and pushing it back from the piles even more? And is there any sort of concern that you run out of room in some spots to place it? Are we going to have to haul it away to different areas?
You know, we have a few areas that we have to haul, but a majority of the areas with the snow blowers and by staying up on it, we've been able to use the snow blowers just to side cast it. We do shelf, as you mentioned, along the way. With this amount of snow, it's just getting more and more difficult. And this is being the Thruway where, you know, we're not faced with the same obstacles that our counterparts are, where you have, you know, homes, vehicles, you know, sidewalks, things like that, that you have to take care of. So right now, we're getting by pretty good, but that was definitely an obstacle. And we do have a few areas where we got hit the hardest. That's where we're concentrating our snow blowers on, because we'd be reduced to about a lane and a half. So basically the snow storage is in a half a lane plus the shoulder at this point.
And I would imagine it's way too early to predict when the Thruway may reopen.
Yeah, we're working constantly. Those talks have even been going on through the night. And right now, it's just a matter of being able to work it with our partners to make sure, like as I mentioned, that if we get people on, that they can safely get off at their destination as well.
Yeah, because that's the last thing you want to do is get the roads clear, think that you're in the clear, and then have to do it all over again and try to rescue people on top of it. All right, Matthew Latko, Buffalo Division Director for the Thruway Authority. We appreciate your time. We know that you're very busy. I'm sure we'll be talking to you more throughout the weekend for more updates, but thank you.